Tonight on SCTV3, we take a look at some of the resources on campus to prepare and deal with the stress of final exams.
Plus, see the students hitting the slopes this winter as part of the Ski and Snowboard Club.
All that and more tonight on SCTV3.
Good evening and welcome to our final SCTV3 weekly news show of the semester. I'm Morgan Barboza.
And I'm Liam Reilly. Thank you for joining us.
We start tonight with finals looming for many students on Springfield's campus. This period of the semester is often a stressful and overwhelming couple of weeks, but the college resource is there to help students cross for the finish line of the fall semester.
From the Academic Success Center, which can provide tutoring and healthy study habits, to the Counseling Center, SCTV3's Dante Iafredi has the details.
As the semester winds down, college students across the country are shifting gears to tackle one of the most challenging parts of their academic journey, final exams. From late-night study sessions to managing stress and finding time for self-care, preparing for finals can be overwhelming. I had a chance to talk to Lauren Gray, who works at the Counseling Center and finds ways to help you better deal with the overwhelming workload as well as dealing with stress during this crucial time.
I would say that the majority of students have it when it comes to finals. You've come this far. It's the culmination of your entire semester. And so I would say the best thing that you can do for yourself is to get good, adequate sleep. Use your supports, use your friends and your peers to study. Reach out for help, take breaks. Try to keep your schedule as normal and routine as possible.
When talking to Brian Heyer, who works directly with the Academic Success Center, he believes these are the most 5 essential tips when preparing for finals. Number 1, students should create a study plan. Number 2, make sure to take care of yourself, hydrate correctly, and eat right. Number 3, plan study breaks, like watching TV or working out. Number 4, prioritize sleep. And number 5, finally, incorporate self-testing. Ask yourself answers and give yourself a blank study guide to see if you can answer the questions without your notes.
It's the Academic Success Center or the Counseling Center. There are multiple resources at your availability here at Springfield College that can help you better prepare for finals. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Dante Iafredi.
The Academic Success Center is located on the 3rd floor of the Learning Commons. Although tutoring is quickly filling up, students can still schedule a session, but hurry as tutoring ends on Monday. If you're looking to reduce some of the stresses, the Counseling Center is located in Massasoit Hall.
Campus Activities held an event titled Winter Wonderland in the Campus Union this past Friday. The event included fun activities like stuffing a holiday-themed bear, creating your own custom photo snow globes, and making holiday sand art. They also had a self-serve hot chocolate bar with marshmallows and handed out various flavors of crumble cookies to students. The cookies were in very high demand as they sold out in less than 10 minutes after the event started. CAB board member Alice Mead said the activities gave students some fun before they head home for the semester.
This year for Winter Wonderland, we were able to have a bunch of different stuffed bears for students to take home, whether they're reindeers, gnomes. We had all sorts of things for students to do, along with customizable snow globes where they were able to take a photo with their friends and have a little trinket to take home with them for the holidays, as well as we also had crumble cookies, which all the students lined up for and were gone within 8 minutes. So all around, I'd say that Winter Wonderland was an amazing event this year.
Campus activities will resume the first week of the spring semester with new and returning events, including Welcome Back Week Bingo, which is said to have new and exciting prizes.
The Springfield College Band and Community Chorus united for their annual winter concert this past Tuesday night. Held in March Memorial, hundreds of members from the campus community crowded into the chapel. The band performed variations of Christmas classics and jazz pieces, and numerous members of the band had impressive solos. The choir performed a song entirely in Hebrew and multiple Southern African numbers. Throughout the night, the audience was encouraged to clap and sing together with the choir. The concert even closed with a sing-along portion of holiday classics by Frosty the Snowman and O Hanukkah. The concert was one of the final programs for the William Simpson Fine Arts Series, which will return in spring with more unique events related to the arts.
As the fall semester comes to a close, students are encouraged to help those in need this holiday season. Residents should consider donating excess or unneeded items to support those less fortunate. Suggested donations include non-perishable food, clean clothing, household items such as bedding. Donation boxes will be available in the senior suites in Lakeside Hall until December 15th. Charlene Elvers, Executive Director of the Center for Service and Leadership, shares why donating unused items can have a big impact, especially around the holidays.
We are really also trying to focus on creating a more sustainable environment and campus environment, right? So instead of throwing things away, we want to recycle them and repurpose them and reuse them. So if you have things that you're not going to use anymore, we want to get those out to people who will use them.
After Sunday, December 15th, donations will still be accepted and should be dropped off at the Pride Pantry near the lockers in the Campus Union.
With the winter months approaching, Springfield College Ski and Snowboard Club is getting ready for its upcoming season. SCTV3's River Mitchell spoke to the captains of the team and learned what the club has to offer for those looking to hit the slopes.
With the cold weather arriving to the northeast and snow starting to form on the ground, this signals that wintertime is almost here. While some sports teams are in the process of winding down their season, ski season is rapidly approaching as the Springfield College Ski and Snowboard Club get ready for the upcoming season. Oftentimes, the club can be seen at various mountains across New England and the Northeast with a mix between competitive racing and also free skiing. While it is required for people joining the club to be able to ski at least a blue square, skiers, even without any racing experience, are still welcome to join the club and compete. While skiers and riders are required to be involved in some racing due to club sports having a requirement to be competitive, there is still a big emphasis on having fun, allowing members of the ski club in their free time to hang out with everyone else.
We like to have fun. We like to have fun. Come on out. It's not really all about racing, more about just skiing and going out, going to new places, new states.
Yeah, we probably race for about 3 hours out of the day max, and the rest of the time is just going to the mountain, hanging out with your friends on the team, and just like being in each other's presence. It's mostly just about having a good time. The racing is it's fun, but it's kind of secondary.
This has also proven to be a good outlet for meeting new people and making friends, as the Ski and Snowboard Club has been a big part of their Springfield College experience.
My first semester, I was a commuter, so I didn't really know that many people. So joining the ski club helped me like meet people to be friends with and like have people to hang out with on the campus outside of just like going to class and then going home.
The winter semester gets really boring, especially come back from Christmas break. You're like, oh man, I got to do school now. It's really fun because you come back and like, I get to go skiing every single weekend in a new state. That's pretty cool to me. So it's been a lot of fun.
If you're interested in joining the Ski and Snowboard Club for yourself, DM SC_ski and snowboard on Instagram. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm River Mitchell.
You can also reach out to either Jackson, Paul, or Steven via email if you're interested in joining the club. And now we send it over to Brian Weiss for our local and national weather updates. Brian?
Thanks, Morgan. After a rainy few days, the sun finally came back out today. Let's see if that continues as we take a look at this week's forecast. The sun stays out heading into the weekend, but keep your jackets on as the temperature will reach a high of 36 and a low of 18 on Saturday. The sun will hide behind some clouds on Sunday, which will then be followed by some warmer weather temperatures, but 3 straight days of rain. That takes us to next Thursday, where the sun finally comes back out, but we'll only see a high of 38 and a low of 26. The New England area as a whole this week has been battered with relentless rainfall, and it's causing significant travel problems. Large puddles on roadways and heavy pockets of rain has led to several crashes on the Massachusetts Turnpike. Many flights have also been canceled at local airports like Logan, with roughly 400 delayed and 100 canceled flights yesterday. Wind has also been a problem, with downed power lines in areas across Mass and Connecticut. The inclement weather isn't expected to let up, as much of next week will be a mix of showers and icy rain. Now sending it back to you guys in Studio A.
When we come back, senior student Ty Walter talks about his role as head supervisor for the Hoophall Classic in January.
We gotta learn to get back. And if we get out, get out. We gotta learn to live free, live free.
Tyler Walter, a senior in the sport management program, was recently named the head supervisor for the 2025 Spalding Hoophall Classic. I spoke to Walter about how he earned the honor and what the role entails.
Maybe the first time I ever talked about college with my parents. I knew my dad always, he wasn't necessarily in sport management because they didn't have it at the time, but he was in communications and did his master's in sport management. And just from then on, I always knew that I wanted to work in sport. When I was that young, I didn't know what it was called. But once I knew it was sport management, I was like, all right, I know that's what I want to do. I was security at the ramp, which, funny enough, I actually ran into a Washington Wizards scout and talked to him for a little bit. I don't think he remembers me at all because it's been a couple years, but it was pretty cool to talk to a Washington Wizards scout, and you just truly never know who you're going to run into when you're working there. Oh, it was definitely great. I was really looking forward to it. I know only so many people get to do that, and obviously Hoophall is one of the most prestigious high school basketball showcases in the nation, and just being able to run that with all these fantastic student workers, I'm glad that I have that responsibility. There's probably a couple. I would say watching Cooper Flagg come and play here, because obviously his games with Montverde, it was always exciting. Last year as a supervisor, I got to fist bump Brian Scalabrine and talk to him a little bit. Just seeing all the big names that are here, just watching basketball in general, like high level basketball, it's always fun and you can't complain. So I'd probably say those are my best memories of football.
The Hoophall Classic will run from January 16th to the 20th in Springfield's Blake Arena.
Springfield College will be hosting its annual late night breakfast tomorrow at 9 in the Cheney Dining Hall. Late night breakfast is a staple for around 16 years and is held on the last Friday of the semester. Springfield College faculty and staff serve food to students, including traditional breakfast items and a variety of other offerings. Music is also played, adding to the festive and upbeat feel of the evening. Assistant Dean of Students and Parent Engagement Annie Warshall believes that the late night breakfast represents an end of the semester celebration, as well as a look ahead to the winter break.
Everyone's just so happy. You can tell them everyone's excited. Classes are over for the semester. People love when you're like flipping pancakes at students, or just having those last minute conversations, wishing everyone well for finals.
All food served is free and no meal plan is needed for students who want to stay up a little later for some breakfast.
Turn to some national headlines. Just over a week ago, next to the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan, the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, was shot and killed. The shooting captivated the nation and sparked a manhunt for the killer. This past Monday, the main suspect was taken into custody. Police say there is hard evidence connecting him to the murder. SCTV3's River Mitchell has more.
Completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
On Wednesday, February 4th, CEO of American United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, was tragically shot and killed in Midtown Manhattan. Since this shooting just over a week ago, police found one of the suspects Monday at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I thought everyone was kidding around. The one guy said, "That looks like the shooter from New York."
Luigi Nicholas Mangione was sitting in the McDonald's on Monday when the police were called due to a customer notifying an employee. When the police arrived, they found him with a 3D printed gun, a silencer, and also a 3-page handwritten note that said, quote, "These parasites simply had it coming," end quote, and also how the U.S. healthcare system is the most expensive in the world and that their profits rise while the life expectancy does not.
He explained his reasons for doing what he did, which in his mind was precisely to deplore the state of healthcare in the United States.
I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, and I have worked to address that throughout my career. But I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most.
Thomas Dickey, who was representing Mangione in the case, still believes that there have been no signs to conclude the guiltiness of Mangione.
I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter.
Mangione is in the process of getting extradited, which could take up to a few weeks. Reporting for STV3, I'm River Mitchell.
Mangione is still being held in a Pennsylvania prison while authorities work to bring him back to New York, where a second-degree murder charge is expected to be elevated to premeditated first-degree murder.
FBI Director Christopher Wray announced yesterday that he would resign at the end of President Biden's term. The decision came about a week and a half after President-elect Trump said he would be nominating former federal prosecutor at the DOJ, Kash Patel, for the position. SCTV3's Brian Weiss has more.
Several United States senators, including John Neely Kennedy and Mike Rounds, share their support for FBI Director Christopher Wray's decision to resign.
And I think it was the wise thing to do.
It does not surprise me. I think once the president indicated that he would prefer to have someone else, I think Chris Wray decided that this was the appropriate time for him to step away.
Wray was hired by Trump during his first term as president, but this time around, Donald Trump seems to have different plans. About a week ago, the president-elect said he intends to nominate Kash Patel for the position.
We look forward to a very smooth transition at the FBI, and I'll be ready to go on day one.
Patel has publicly confirmed through statements and interviews that he will look to upend the FBI and dramatically reshape its mission. FBI directors rarely serve their full 10-year term. Former FBI Director James Comey was fired by President Trump just 4 years into his term in 2017. Wray said his main goal when resigning was to keep the borough focused on their mission of helping the American people. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Brian Weiss.
Wray used the bulk of his resignation announcement to praise the Bureau's efforts in addressing issues such as violent crimes, cyber attacks, terrorism, and other threats.
Wildfires continue to plague California, with residents stuck in a mandatory evacuation or shelter-in-place orders. The raging fires are spreading rapidly overnight in the mountains of Malibu, leaving college students in the area stranded where they are as they near the last week of the semester. SCTV3's Kyle Valentine has more on the situation.
Students who took cover in the library of Pepperdine University watched as the fire crept over the hill toward the building. The shelter-in-place order given to the students on early Tuesday morning was lifted the next morning, only to be put back in place in the afternoon. Although the buildings at the university are built to withstand the raging fires, homes in Malibu have a different outcome, as many are quickly being swallowed by the fire, with the fire moving at a pace of more than 1,000 acres every 24 hours.
I know the house is gone. I went back in there and to try to find the horses, but it was too dangerous. We had to just get out of there as quickly as we could.
Thousands of Malibu Canyon residents were flocking to leave as soon as they could. More than 1,000 firefighters are on the scene as the fire continues to burn 30 miles outside of Los Angeles. California Governor Gavin Newsom talked about how they are planning on containing this ongoing disaster.
Over 100 assets were pre-positioned by the state of California, 55 engines specifically, aircraft as well.
With the fire just last month that erupted in Ventura County that left 200,000 acres torched and destroyed more than 200 homes, firefighters are no stranger to working around the clock to keep citizens and properties safe. Newsom voiced his frustrations about yet another fire.
We're in the middle of December, and yet we're experiencing yet another wildfire in Southern California.
Red flag warnings remain in effect for Southern California through Wednesday. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Kyle Valentine.
Newsom also announced the state has secured federal assistance from FEMA to help bolster its response to the fire.
After the break, Patrick Fergus has you covered on all the latest news and highlights from the Pride's Athletics, SCTV3's Sports Extra.
Guys, do you want to change lives?
Absolutely. How can we do that?
Follow me. Let's go to the Y Club.
All right, let's ask some members what they love about Y Club.
I love when the Y Club gives me opportunity to hang out with community members.
It gives you an opportunity to help families.
You don't have to know anything about the Y, and you get to meet great people.
I love how inviting all the members are, and I also like participating in all the fun activities.
The Y Club gives you an opportunity to grow as a leader by engaging with people in your community.
Hey Jess, what's reason number 1 on why you should join Y Club?
Meeting different populations of people and learning what future communities you might want to work with.
You should join the Y Club to make different connections, whether it's business, friendship, or just leadership connections.
Reason number 3 is to get out of your comfort zone. If you feel stuck in any place, and this place is perfect for it. If you want to get out of it and explore new locations.
Reason number 4 is that you don't need a career in the YMCA. There's so many other things that you can do with it, and you don't need a job for it.
Welcome to this edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. I'm Patrick Fergus, keeping you up to date on all things Pride Athletics. Springfield women's basketball soundly defeated LaSalle in Blake Arena this past Friday night. Sophomore guard Claire Finney had a huge game for the Pride with 22 points on 77% shooting. Senior forward Angie Zarema also had a huge impact for the Pride, collecting 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. The Pride got the majority of its scoring from close shots, tallying 44 points in the paint. Transition offense was another element that clicked for Springfield, as it outscored LaSalle 17-2 on the break. The Pride will return to the court on Saturday when it plays host to Albertus Magnus at 1 p.m. At home on Saturday, the men's basketball team comfortably took down Emmanuel 87-67. Springfield started off slow but quickly rallied a 12-0 run near the end of the first half to go into the break up by 6. The Pride further built its lead in the second half, pushing the lead to 17 after a layup from Jaron Flynn. The Saints couldn't mount a comeback as Springfield held onto its lead until the final buzzer. This marked the men's team's first back-to-back wins since January of 2023. First-year center Hunter Madison had his best day for the Pride, tallying 12 points and 8 rebounds. The Pride don't return to play until January 1st when they compete in the Fairfield Inn and Suites Enfield Naismith Classic. Many members of us here at SCTV3 were on the mic for Pride athletic games this past semester. As a part of a semester wrap-up, we've compiled some of our favorite calls and moments.
Motion here from Hart. It'll be a pitch. Hart out to the outside and into the end zone, and Springfield strikes.
Just like I said, if you give the ball to Blaine Hart, he is taking that for a bunch of yards right there.
Motion Vasquez, they'll look to give it to Stefan, but it'll be a keeper by Sylvester, and then he'll pitch it out to Vasquez.
What a run!
Vasquez got a step. Dante Vasquez 1 minute to beat it, he beats him. Touchdown Springfield.
I believe that was number 4, the safety, Nate Sullivan, that came down to stop him right near the line of scrimmage, and Vasquez just completely ran through him.
Just another very, very quick, lifeless offensive drive for MIT.
3rd and 11. Struber will look over the field. Intercepted this time by Gonzalez. As that was Brian Feliciano who made the tackle, his own teammate. And this time Gonzalez gets what he asked for.
Yeah, it looked like MIT was getting a little bit desperate there.
In the backfield here, they'll motion Brown. They'll give it to Stefan, who cuts back up the middle. Arshin Stefan still loose, spinning, and then into the end zone. Arshin Stefan having himself a day.
What a great misdirection play by the Pride. Stefan breaking a few tackles there.
They diagnose it. Zarema spins and 1.
What a move by Saramba on the and 1.
And a little shoulder shake off.
Great spin move, and she gets to the line to boot with a chance to cut it to 2. 7.7 seconds left. Williams up by 1. Ball is in possession. Leary looking for Carano. Leary unable by Sarema. Sarema is unguarded underneath and gets it to 2.
Getting close to the paint, pass it out. Rodriguez with the 3, buries it. Cedric Rodriguez with a big 3, and now it's a 1-point game.
Great offense there to drive and kick, draw 2 defenders, kick out to the open man. Easy 3, that's good basketball.
A little bit too much dribbling up here at the top, really making a movement. I feel when you're going to use your dribbles, they need to go somewhere. The dribbling in place is going to end up allowing that kind of stuff to happen, those kind of like tippy-tap plays. And Johnson letting that fall in.
If you're interested in hearing more of our commentary, tune in this Saturday at 1 as Sam McGilpin and Shane Barron are on the call for the women's basketball matchup versus Albertus Magnus. Now to look at this week's athletics schedule. Wrestling travels to Roger Williams to compete in the Scott Vieira Open on Friday and Saturday. The team won the Pret Roths Invitational last week. Women's basketball will look to extend their 4-game winning streak at home against Albertus Magnus. The football team's incredible run in the NCAA Division III Championship Tournament continues into the quarterfinals this weekend as they take on the #1 ranked team in the country, North Central Illinois. This year's team has made it the farthest in program history. To see each team's full schedule, check out SpringfieldCollegePride.com. That'll do it for this edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. Stick around after the break to see what first-year students are doing to prepare for their first final exams.
Have you ever wanted to learn what it's like to work in the journalism field and want to gain real-world experience? Join the Springfield Student, Springfield College's official newspaper since 1909. Here you'll get to learn what it's like to work in a fast-paced, deadline-driven industry and get to write weekly stories for the paper surrounding athletics, events on campus, feature stories, and so much more. You'll also have the opportunity to potentially cover the Spalding Hoophall Classic, a yearly high school basketball showcase held right here in Blake Arena, featuring some of the top high school talent across the country. Interested in learning more or joining the staff? Email our faculty advisor, Amy Crawford, or reach out to me directly, Braden Shea, the editor-in-chief.
Finals are a tough time of the semester for any student, but especially those going through it for the very first time. SCTV3 Caleb Knowles and Connor Rourke asked some first-year students how they're handling collegiate finals.
I'm Caleb Knowles. And I'm Connor Rourke. And today we're outside the campus union ready to interview first-year students about how they are preparing for finals. What are you doing to prepare for your first finals?
Well, I use the tutoring services at the library, and I also go to the library every night.
Spending an eternity in the library.
Just kind of been going over some notes, making sure I got everything on track.
Just going over past notes, looking at practice exams. A few of my classes have given us some actual exam practice guides, so going over that stuff.
I made a schedule, a study schedule, and I'm going to the library pretty much every day and breaking up my studying for each class.
Do you have any study habits that you use?
I like to write down everything that I'm going over and just drill it into my brain.
What study habits have you learned on campus?
Really using note cards and memory games.
I use a website that just kind of turns all my notes into games.
One thing is trying to get out of my room to study because sometimes it can get really distracting in there. So heading over to the library that's down there, or just getting into the common room, somewhere separate from my room.
I definitely go for the 30 minutes on, a few minutes off to kind of have a focused time and have a brain break so I can stay efficient.
And what style of finals do you have? Do you have presentations, projects?
I have a lot of projects this year, yeah.
Most of them are projects. I think I have 1 or 2 exams though.
Only 1 or 2 of them are exams. A lot of them are going to be project-based. A few of them are group projects.
For exam style, I have 4 exams and 1 paper.
Some first-year students have already started their finals, while others may conclude their finals on Friday the 20th, the last day the finals are being taken. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Caleb Knowles.
And I'm Connor Rourke.
That'll do it for this week's show and our broadcast for the fall semester. From everyone here at SCTV3, we want to thank you for watching and hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
If you want to see previous shows and stories on demand, visit our YouTube channel at SCTV3. We'll be back in the new year with more sports and news coverage.
Same time?
Same place.